Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. So inshallah today we are going to start lesson number 25, and lesson number 25 is an easy lesson inshallah comparatively. So in this lesson we have basically it's about the use of kana wa akhawatuha, kana and the sisters of kana. Okay, do you remember any other word that has sisters?
Inna.
Inna wa akhawatuha, right? So basically why they say inna wa akhawatuha, one of them has been made as the main like heading. It has been given the name of the heading, for example, inna and kana. And then they have subheadings like they have sisters. So the whole chapter is named on that particular word or that particular particle. Inna is a particle, and when we say inna wa akhawatuha, so that means what the grammarians did. They said that inna is the word, and based on this, we are going to have further words based on this, and they have the same meaning and same function. So when we say inna wa akhawatuha, and when we say kana wa akhawatuha, that means they have different meaning, but they have the same grammatical function. Different meaning, but same grammatical function. Okay, in lesson number 7, are you able to see the screen now? Can you see the screen?
Sir.
Okay, so in lesson number 7, this is what we see here. Excuse me, give me a minute, please. Okay, so in lesson number 7, we learned about kana and the simple use of kana. And when we say the simple use of kana, that means that it is used like it doesn't have any grammatical function or it doesn't have any grammatical implication. For example, we say Bilalun fil fasli, except for the meaning. Bilalun fil fasli, Bilal is in the classroom. And when we say kana Bilalun fil fasli, it would mean Bilal was in the classroom. So what is the meaning of kana? Kana means was. When we say Bilalun fil fasli, it is a nominal sentence. And when we add kana to it, it will change into verbal sentence and it gives the meaning of was. And as we can see here, kana Bilalun fil fasli, Bilal was in the classroom. Now, do you see any change in the sentence when we add kana to it? The meaning has changed, but there is no grammatical change. There is no grammatical change. It hasn't taken any impact on Bilalun fil fasli. There is no grammatical, the i'rab didn't change, the ending didn't change. The ending is the same as it is. So kana Bilalun fil fasli, but when we added kana, the meaning has changed. Bilal was in the classroom or Bilal was in the class. Similarly, al-mudarrisu fil maktabati, the teacher is in the library. And we say kana al-mudarrisu fil maktabati, the teacher was in the library. So here it only gives the meaning of was, only meaning of was. Okay. Similarly, there are some other examples, so there is no need to discuss all the examples. Okay, now, inna wa akhawatuha, do they have any grammatical function?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Ismu inna will be mansoob.
Mansoob, sir.
Okay.
And
Khabar will be marfu.
khabar will be marfu.
Will be marfu. Okay, so basically what happens, inna and the sisters of inna, they come with a nominal sentence, jumla ismiya, and then they own the whole sentence. First of all, the meaning changes. It is used for emphasis. Okay. And number 2, what happens, it brings some grammatical changes as well. For example, we say Allahu Ghafurur Rahim, or we will say Allahu Alimun Hakim. Let's take this example. Allahu Alimun Hakim. Allah is all knowing, all wise. Allahu alimun hakim. When we add inna, then what happens? It will be inna Allah alimun hakim, right? Inna Allah alimun hakim. So what happened? The lafz al-jalala, Allahu was marfu', but because of inna, it has become mansub. Inna Allah alimun hakimun. So the subject has changed and it becomes ismu inna, and khabaru inna, there has no change has taken place. So the khabar remains as it is, right? So the sentence was Allahu alimun hakim, alimun hakimun, and when we use inna, it will be inna Allah alimun hakimun. Okay, now we have kana and akhawatuha. Now kana and akhawatuha, they also have an impact on the sentence. They also have what? An impact on the sentence. So not only the meanings will change, but also there will be some grammatical changes in the sentence as well. There will be some changes in the i'rab. Okay, first of all, we call them al-af'al al-naqisa. What do we call them? Al-af'al al-naqisa, because we have kana and sisters. So that means there is not one verb, there are many verbs. Okay, why do we call them al-naqisa, like defective? Why do we say that? Do you have any idea?
There is a alif, sir, weak letter.
Excellent, perfect. It's when we say it has alif and it has weak letter, perfect. But you are talking about the root letters, according to the root letters. So when there is
Yes,
a
sir.
weak root letter, we will say that kana has a weak root letter, and it is ajwaf or naqis, depending on where the root letter happens to be. So kana is ajwaf or naqis?
Naqis, sir. Defective noun.
No. This is, where is the root letter? The weak root letter, where is it? It's in the middle.
Middle, sir.
If it's in
Ajwaf,
the middle,
sir.
we will say ajwaf, yeah? So it's ajwaf.
Ajwaf.
Okay, right, because like qala and kana. So if you remember one example, for example, qala, it's on the pattern of qala, it's kana. So it has a weak letter, but here we are not talking about the root letters. Here we are talking about its function in the grammar, in the language, its change or its like function in the i'rab. So when we say it's naqis, it's naqis because it cannot convey the meaning by itself. It cannot convey the meaning by itself. For example, we say kana means he was. He was what?
He was, yes.
He was what? So the meaning is not clear. Something is ambiguous. Something is missing. So what we have to bring in now, we have to bring in the information. We have to bring in the khabar that tells us that he was sick, he was active, he was lazy. So for example, we want to say he was sick. So we will say kana maridan. He was sick. What will we say? Kana maridan. Okay, now when kana enters on a nominal sentence, then the subject becomes ismu kana and the predicate becomes khabaru kana. Okay, when we have a nominal sentence, so when we use kana with a nominal sentence, then the subject becomes ismu kana and the predicate becomes khabaru kana. Okay, for example, let's see here in the examples. Kana al-ma'u, first of all, we have al-ma'u baridun. Al-ma'u baridun, water is cold. What kind of sentence is this?
Nominal sentence.
Nominal sentence, okay. What is the status of al-ma'u and what is the status of baridun?
Mubtada.
Both marfu, sir.
Both of them are marfu, and the first one is the subject and the second one is predicate, right?
Yes, sir.
So both of them are marfu, as we can see here. Either they end with dhamma or dhammatain, and the first one is the subject and second one is predicate. However, when kana, we add kana to the nominal sentence, then the first one will be ismu kana and the second one will be khabaru kana. That's number one. Number two, what change has taken place in the i'rab? Do you see any change in the i'rab?
Yeah, the khabar kana is mansoob, sir. The
Yes.
ismu is space.
So
Khabaru kana.
kana al-ma'u, nothing happened. So ismu kana doesn't change. but khabaru kana changes. And what happens to the khabaru kana? It becomes
It become mansub.
mansub. Excellent. Okay. So this is the function of kana. When it enters a nominal sentence, then the meaning, of course, changes, and along with the meaning, there will be changes in the i'rab of the sentence as well. And the mubtada remains as it is. There will be no change in mubtada, but the khabar becomes mansub. Kana al-ma'u baridan. Okay, now, one example only from the Quran. Kana Allahu aliman hakima. Kana Allahu aliman hakiman. If we don't want to stop, so Kana Allahu aliman hakiman. What will be the translation? Allah is all wise, all knowing. Okay. Remember that when we use kana with lafz al-jalala, or when it is used in the verse about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we will not translate it as Allah was. We will always translate it as Allah is. Kana Allahu aliman hakima. Allah is all wise and all knowing, all wise and all knowing. Kana al-ma'u baridan. The water, yes, was cold. Normally, as you see, that when we use kana, the meaning will be past. But when we talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will translate into present. Okay. Kana al-ma'u baridan. Now, is it clear? Any questions?
Yes.
Anything that you want to ask?
No, sir. Alhamdulillah, it's clear, sir.
Okay, so I don't want to mix it up, but you should remember that inna, as we remember that inna attacks the subject and kana attacks the predicate, right? So kana doesn't say anything to the subject. To mubtada, it says you are my friend because you are close to me, but it says khabar tells khabar that you are away from me. So I will take some, some action against you, and I will change you. So that's why it becomes kana al-ma'u baridan. So the noun that is closer to kana doesn't change, but the noun that is away from kana changes. Is this easy to recall?
Yes, kana is like media, sir.
Is like media.
That change the news.
It changes the news, yeah, but it changes the news. Perfect, yeah, that's right. So it's like media, it doesn't change, the subject doesn't make any change to the subject, but it changes the predicate. So it changes the news. Perfect. Okay, here are some other examples of kana. As you can see, Zainabu Maridatun. Please translate it. Zainabu Maridatun, quickly.
Zainab is sick.
Zainab is sick.
Zainab is sick.
Okay. Of course, the past of kana will be kanat. You know that. When we have
Feminine.
ta as sakina, it is always for feminine, for the past tense.
Feminine.
Kanat Zainabu Maridatan. Okay, Zainab was
Zainab.
sick. Okay, now, as you said, kana doesn't say anything to the subject, but it will have an impact on the predicate, and the predicate becomes mansub. Kanat Zainabu Maridatan. Zainab was sick. Al-Jawu Jamilan, the weather is beautiful. Kana al-Jawu Jamilan, the weather was beautiful. Okay. If the khabar is a prepositional phrase, it remains without any change. We know that jar majroor, they will not change. So if we say al-mudarrisu fil fasli, the teacher is in the classroom. Kan al-mudarrisu fil fasli, the teacher was in the classroom. Now, when we say kan al-mudarrisu fil fasli, what is the status of fil fasli?
Jar
Mansub.
khabar.
La.
Mahal Mansub, Ustad.
What is the status
Sir,
of?
mutallaq khabar, sir.
Yes, Irfan, you're right, but we don't want to make it a little bit difficult. We only focus on subject and predicate. Where is the subject?
Okay, this is
Al-Mudarrisu is the
Mudarrisu,
subject,
sir.
Subject.
and
Jar
fil fasli
majroor.
is the predicate, yeah?
Khabar, yeah.
Predicate, sir.
Yeah, excellent. So we will say that Mubtada is marfu, Ismu kana is marfu, and Khabaru kana is mansub. Khabaru kana is what? Mansub. But it is mahallan mansub.
Mahal.
Yeah, it's in the place of nasb, but it will not change because we know jar majroor, already jar majroor, it makes a change in the sentence, so we cannot further change it. We cannot make it fil fasla. It's not possible, right? But we will say that al-mudarrisu is ismu kana and fil fasli is khabaru kana. Okay, now we have one sister of kana here, which is la yazalu. It is the sister of kana, la yazalu. So when we say it's the sister of kana, or it's the sister of that particular family, what does it mean?
Doesn't make
It will have the
sense to
same
the mubtada, but the
on
khabar changes.
Khabar changes.
Yeah. For example, when we talk about the whole family, that means the function, the grammatical function will be the same, but the meaning will change. For example, kana means was, but la yazalu, does it have the same meaning as was?
No, sir.
It has a different meaning. So that means the meaning will change, but the grammatical impact will be the same. And what will be the grammatical impact? That the subject, the mubtada, subject mubtada will be marfu, and predicate khabar will be mansoob. Okay. La yazalu. La yazalu means he is still. Okay, first of all,
Continuous tense.
yeah, first of all, look here, yazalu. Is it present tense or past tense?
Present tense.
present.
Okay, so what will, and you
Zala,
have
zala.
zala. Okay, zala is the past tense.
Zala.
Zala, which is zal, alif and lam, zala, yazalu. Okay, now please remember that zala and yazalu, they are not used by themselves, or they are not used alone. When we use the present tense, it is always used with la. Okay, this la doesn't have any grammatical impact. Here it means like la yazalu. When say, okay, yazalu means to cease, it means to stop, it means to cease. Okay, but when you say la yazalu, that means it didn't cease, it doesn't cease, or it doesn't stop. Did you get the idea? Yazalu means to stop, to cease, but when we say la yazalu, that means not to stop or not to cease. What does it mean? To continue. What does it mean? It means to continue. Okay, so that means when we say he is still, that means he is still doing that activity. He hasn't stopped doing that activity. It is one of the sisters of Kana, and it acts exactly like Kana. Bilalun maridun, Bilal is sick. La yazalu Bilalun maridan, Bilal is still sick. And he continues to be sick, he hasn't recovered yet. Okay, so la yazalu Bilalun maridan, Bilal is still sick. So what did la yazalu do? What did it do? It didn't say anything to the subject, but it changed the predicate into mansoob. Right?
Just
So
like
la
in
yazalu
Kana.
Bilal, yes, like Kana. So la yazalu Bilalun maridan, Bilal is still sick. Similarly, Maryam mutalibatun, Maryam is a student. And please remember that the verb will change according to the subject. Because look, yazalu has complete 14 forms. So you can make 14 forms now, I'm sure now, like yazalu, yazalani, yazaluna, and you can make up to nazalu, azalu, and nazalu. So we can make all 14 forms. Now it's up to you to sit down and write them down all one by one. And inshallah, in this way, you will be able to memorize them. Okay, so la yazalu, sorry, la tazalu Maryam mutalibatan. Maryam is still a student. So of course, when we talk about Maryam, then we will bring in the verb that is according to Maryam, that is la tazalu. Okay, if I say we are still studying book 2.
Nahnu.
La
Don't use nahnu.
nazalu.
La,
No, no,
la,
la nazalu.
la nazalu.
La nazalu, sir.
Okay, la nazalu nadrusu.
Nadrusu.
La nazalu nadrusu
Al-kitab
juz
al-thani.
al-thani. Al-kitab al-thani.
Or al-juz al-thani, that's right. Okay, so la nazalu nadrusu al-kitab al-thani. It doesn't mean that we are still studying book 2. That means it's been centuries. No, it's not been many years. It's just like we have started like 6 months ago. So it's not something like it's too late, or it's just like to make a sentence. So we are studying, or we are still studying book 2. La nazalu nadrusu al-kitab al-thani. Al-kitab or al-juz al-thani, right? Because khabar will be with fatha. Okay. And if you talk about yourself, if you say, I am still studying book 2.
La
azalu.
La azalu.
Azalu.
La azalu,
Kitab
sir.
al-thaniya.
Adrusu
Yes.
al-juz al-thani.
al-juz'a al-thaniya, right? So we want to make the ending clear, so we know that this is mansub. Okay, and similarly we see here Ibrahim fil mustashfa. Ibrahim is in the hospital, and la yazalu Ibrahim fil mustashfa. Ibrahim is still in the hospital. So again here we will say that Ibrahim is ismu la yazal, right? And fil mustashfa is khabaru la yazal. Okay, now fil mustashfa, we know that mustashfa ends with alif maqsura, and it's alif maqsura. So what happens there? Or it has standing fatha. Now grammatically it will not change. It will remain as it is. But we will say that this is mahallan mansub. It is in the place of mansub. Okay, so I hope inshallah it's clear so far. Any questions?
No, sir.
No questions. Okay. The next one is very simple. Number 3, we have the word abun and akhun. Abun and akhun. What do you remember about abun and akhun?
Social mudaf.
They are from the
Asmaul
Asmaul
Khamsa.
Khamsa.
Al-asma al-khamsa. Okay. Do you remember them all?
Abu,
Mansub bil waw,
Akhu,
mansub bil alif,
Hamu,
and
Zu.
majroor bil ya. Yeah.
Okay, let's see the 3 that we have learned so far. We have learned abun, akhun, wa dhu, right? So abun,
Yes, sir.
when we use it as mudaf mudaf alayh, it will always be used as abu, aba, abi, right? It has 3 different forms. When it is marfu, it is abu. When it is mansub, it is aba. And when it is majroor, it is abi, right? Similarly, akhun is the same. Akhun, akha, akhi. And if you remember, dhu, the, the. We have learned 3 of them. Okay, so it's very simple now if you see here. When it is used as mudaf mudaf alayh, when it is marfu, it will be Abu Bilalin and Akhu Hamidin, and also it will be Abuka or Akhuhu, right? So either we have a noun after that, or we have a attached pronoun after that. So we have Abu Bilalin and we have Akhu Hamidin, and we say Abuka and Akhuhu. Okay, but now what happens? The word Abu or Akhu will change according to the amil. What is the amil? Like whatever is before it. So whatever is before it, if it has any impact on it, then according to the amil, it will change. It might remain as Abu, it might change into Aba, and it might change into Abi.
Abi.
Yeah, when we listen to the hadith, an Abi Hurayrata, an Abi Hurayrata. So Abi, right? Why it is
Because
Abi? It's
because of
because of
an.
an, and so it
An,
is used. It is used as excellent. So it is always used as majroor. Okay. I don't want to write it because I sent
like
it to
a
you.
harf
And,
nida, sir.
I hope
Ya Abu
Irfan,
Ibrahim.
let's not confuse
Ya
it
Aba.
because let's not confuse it. That's different, Irfan. That will be Ya Aba.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Ya Abbas.
All right. So Aina Abuka, where is your father? So here Aina and Abuka, we will say Abuka is Muqtada and Aina is Khabar, right? Aina Abuka, where is your father? So this is a nominal sentence. But when you say Arifu Abaka, now why here we have used Abaka?
The other maf'ul bihi.
Ma-
Because of
Bihi.
Arifu, sir.
Yes,
This is
Arifu, I know.
13th.
So I is the subject
Yes.
and no is the
I know
verb.
who Aba.
So your father is the object. And when we know that object is always mansub. So what is the mansub of Abu? Aba. So Arifu Abaka,
Aba.
I know your father.
Mansub bil alif.
Yes, bil alif. And then we have Mada qulta li abika. What did you tell your father? What did you tell your father? Mada qulta. And again we have here qulta, you said, it's a fail plus file. Li is harf jar, and Abu, Aba, and here we have to use
Abi.
majroor Abi, right? Li abika. Yes, so what did you tell your father? Mada qulta abi li abika. What did you tell your father? The same function of akhu. For example, Aina dhahaba akhuha. Where did her brother go?
Fine.
أرأيت أخاها, did you see her brother? And أذهبت إلى أخيها, أخو, أخا, أخي, right? Did you go to her brother? Okay, حفاظ القرآن. يوم يفر المرء من
أخي
أخيه, أخيه, right? وأمه
وأبي
وأبيه وصاحبته
Bani.
وبنيه. Right, okay, bani. So now you can relate that all of them are majroor, and that's why all of them have been used as akhi and also bani and abi. So all of them have been used in majroor form. And there are many examples in the Quran for both, for akhu and both of them, or for akhu, akha, akhi, and also there are many examples in the Quran about abu, aba, and abi. Qabl and Ba'd. What do you remember about Qabla and Ba'da? What do you remember about them?
They can be mabni as well as they can be.
Special mudaf.
I'm asking about the past information. I'm asking about the past information. Yeah, they are used as special mudaf. Okay.
Mudaf.
Okay.
Special mudaf.
And they are mabni al fath, right? And they are mabni al fath. Ba'da and Qabla. Okay, but here we have min qablu. Okay. So
Something.
yeah, now we can see here that basically qablu and ba'du, they are used both in two ways. They are used when they are used as dharf, they will be always used as ba'da and qabla, and they will always have mudaf ilayh. Whenever we use ba'da and qabla, they will always be used as dharf, and they will always have mudaf ilayh. And whenever we use them as dharf, they are always mansub bil fath. You know that dharf is always mansub bil? Yes, please tell me.
Fatha.
Okay, you remember that, right?
Yes.
Okay, but min qablu and ba'du, there are two examples of this. So first of all, look at the example of the previous knowledge that we have. ذهبت إلى المسجد قبل الأذان. I went to masjid before the adhan. ورجعت بعد الصلاة, and I returned after the prayer. So قبل الأذان, qabla is mudaf, al-adhani is what? Mudaf ilayh. So we know that when they are used as mudaf ilayh, then they are always mansub. And similarly ba'da, and it is mansub, and then we have mudaf ilayh after that. So when they are used in mudaf ilayh construction, please write it down. When they are used as mudaf ilayh construction, then they will be always mansub, and there has to be a mudaf ilayh after that. However, if the mudaf ilayh is omitted, look here, if the mudaf ilayh is omitted, qabla and ba'da become mabni ala dhamma. Then what happens? They become mabni ala dhamma. Okay. So you see here, abi alana mudirun wa kana min qablu mudarrisan. My father is now a headmaster, and before he was a teacher. So min qablu means?
Min zalika.
Min qablu and min ba'du. So kana min qablu. So here, mudarrisan. Why mudarrisan is mansub?
Because of Kana's effect.
Because of kana.
Kana's
Okay, so as we know that here
there is
now,
hidden file, sir.
yes, so min qablu will be ismu kana, and mudarrisan will be khabaru kana. And we know that ismu kana is always marfu'. Now you see the reason and the logic behind this, that ismu kana will always be marfu'. So that's why it is min qablu mudarrisan. In this instance, min qablu is for min qabli dhalika. So basically it's min qabli dhalika, before that, before being a headmaster, but the mudaf ilayh dhalika has been omitted. So when the mudaf ilayh has been omitted, then it will be mabni ala dhamma. When mudaf ilayh has been omitted, then what happens?
Here,
It will be, yes.
jar majroor can become ismu kana. It cannot be right. So kana has a hidden pronoun huwa. That is ismu kana, Ustad.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right.
So min qablu.
Oh, so I forgot to mention. Okay, min qablu is jar majroor. So huwa kana. And basically, Irfan mentioned today Min qablu, jar majroor, it's a news to you that jar majroor will never ever be a predicate.
Yeah.
We have been saying that jar majroor is predicate, but jar majroor will never be predicate. It is called muta'allaq. Muta'allaq,
Khan.
muta'allaq,
muta'allaq.
yeah, khabar muta'allaq, or it's muta'allaq al-fail. So basically, min qablu is about kana. So we will say that kana, huwa is the subject, and mudarrisan is the predicate of kana. And min qablu is muta'allaq al-kana. Muta'allaq al-kana. If you get it, okay, alhamdulillah. If not, the only thing that you need to remember that huwa kana, for example, huwa is ismu kana and mudarrisan is khabru kana, and min qablu, we normally don't consider it as part of the analysis when we analyze something. Jar majroor, normally, if you remember, we omit it from the analysis. So as of now, let's say that min qablu is omitted from the analysis. So when we say kana mudarrisan, when you say kana mudarrisan, what will be the analysis of kana mudarrisan?
The ismu kana is
Kana huwa.
Hidden, yeah, or huwa kana
subject.
mudarrisan or kana huwa mudarrisan. So basically, huwa is ismu kana and mudarrisan is khabru kana.
So what about the places where it comes as min qabli? Is it
If it's
something
min
different?
qabli, yeah, then after that we have to have mudaf ilayh. As you can see here, min qabli dhalika, before that. So
Okay,
now we
but
can
like-
see that, yes, now we can see that qabla and ba'da, and qablu and ba'du, and qabli and ba'di, they are used in 3 different ways. When they are used as mansub, they are always dharf. Please note it down. When they are used as mansub, number 1, they are always used as dharf, and number 2, they are always used as mudaf, mudaf ilayh, special mudaf and mudaf ilayh. That's number 1. Number 2, when mudaf ilayh is omitted, then they are always mabni ala dhamma. Mabni ala dhamma. And when there is harf jar before them and there is mudaf ilayh after that, then of course they will change as a normal noun. Then it will be considered as noun. And as you can see here, min qabli dhalika. So when we have mudaf ilayh after that, then it will accept kasra because we have mudaf ilayh after that. And it is translated as before that. Min qabli dhalika, before that. So when it has fatha, it is dharf. When it has dhamma, it is mabni ala dhamma. And when it has kasra, that means it is used as mudaf, and then after that we have mudaf ilayh. And why it has kasra? Because we have amil before it, we have harf jar before it. Yes. Okay, can you give me one example of min qablu wa min ba'du from Quran? From Surah Ar-Rum, verse number 4. Lillahi al-amru.
Even Surah Hadid has Ustad, one of
Yeah,
this thing.
That's right, yeah, but if you see here,
those who have done before the conquest of Makkah, like that.
yes,
What
but this example,
mountain of Uhud.
yes, this example consists of
Lillahi
both.
al-amru min qablu wa min ba'd.
Yes, perfect. So lillahi al-amru min qablu wa min ba'du. That is verse number 4 of Surah Ar-Rum. To Allah belongs the command before and after. Yani the command, the amr is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before and after. So one example is more than enough to remember. Lillahi al-amru min qablu wa min ba'du. As we know that our main source and target is to understand Quran, and the whole grammar has been derived from the Quran. So whenever we are looking for a grammatical rule, we can refer back to the Quran, and we will definitely find examples of that, because the whole grammar, Arabic grammar, has been derived from the Quran. Please remember that. The language has been derived from the Quran, and the Quran has not been derived from the language. This is a very important thing that we need to know, or we need to remember about 2 things about the Quran. Number 1, it is Kalamullah. It is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number 2, it is not, we will not analyze the text of the Quran based on the rules of the grammar. We will analyze the grammar rules based on the text of the Quran. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
What did I say?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What did you say, Irfan?
You mean that all grammar is derived from the Quran,
Quran.
not the
So-
Quran derived from the grammar.
So our grammar is not the parameter or the benchmark. Quran is the benchmark, and we will like analyze all the rules of the grammar according to the Quran, and not the Quran according to the grammar rules. Please remember this, and this is very important. Because if you remember, there are some people, they say like, na'udhu billah, they say there are some grammatical mistakes in the Quran. And you might have seen that there was a guy who had a dialogue with Dr. Zakir Naik, telling him that there are so many mistakes in the Quran. And someone has
22
written,
grammatical.
yeah, 22 grammatical mistakes in the Quran. So it's like people, they don't think, and they don't have brains, because they try to analyze Quran based on the grammar rules. We have to analyze the grammar rules based on the Quran. Lillahi al-amru min qablu wa min ba'du. This example, Surah Ar-Rum, verse number 4. Okay. So inshallah, now we will not forget it. And basically, as you can see here min ba'du means, or is for min ba'dihi, or min ba'di dhalika. So basically, mudaf ilayh is omitted, and we know that when mudaf ilayh is omitted, then it will be mabni ala dhamma. You might have heard, like many shuyukh, when they start a khutbah, they recite all the verses of the Quran. Amma ba'd, yeah. So that's basically amma ba'du. Yani whatever follows it is also omitted. Yani this is what I'm going to tell you. Okay, now we have some other forms of plural, of broken plural. I hope you remember the past forms of the broken plural. For example, bab, abwab, talib, tullab. You remember those patterns, okay? So the new pattern that we have today is the pattern of marda. It's like the pattern of plural of maridun is marda. The plural is mamnu'un min as-sarfi and also has no tanween. Why it is mamnu' min as-sarf and why it doesn't have tanween? And what will be the
Alif maksura.
alif maqsura? Okay, that's number one. And it's mamnu' min as-sarf because the ending has alif maqsura and we cannot put dhamma, fatha or kasra on that. That's number one. Okay, what will be the structure, like the wazn? What will be the wazn? Pattern, yes.
Mafal.
Fa'ala.
Fa'la. La fa'la.
Fa'la. Yeah, fa'la.
The meme is okay. The meme is from the root words.
Yeah. So fa'la.
Fa'la.
Okay, I'm almost able to write it. So it's fa'la. Okay. So maridun, marda. Okay, now we have qatilun, a person who has been killed, and the plural is qatla. Jarihun, the one who has been wounded, and we have jarha. Asirun, the prisoner, and the plural is asra. Ahmaqu, and the plural is hamqa. So all of them are on the pattern of fa'ala. So this is a new pattern. Okay, so the plural will be masculine or feminine?
It's masculine almost.
They are real.
Looks like a fake feminine. It's a
Fake feminine, yeah. It, because they end with
But it is a
alif
fake
maqsura,
feminine.
yeah. So it's not the real feminine. So we will say it's feminine by symbol. You know that the symbols of feminine, ta marbuta, alif maqsura,
Maksura and
and
alif
alif
mamduda.
mamduda. Perfect, excellent.
So what does that mean? That we will use feminine verbs for these?
No, not exactly, but then they are feminine. What should I say? Like feminine,
They sound
majazi.
feminine.
Majazi.
Majazi. That's
Not
right, yeah. Not hakiki. They're not the real feminine. They are the unreal feminine. Yeah, unreal feminine.
So I don't get it. Like the names ending with ta marbuta, they are there, but we don't
You mean
call
to
them.
say, for example, huwa qatilun, and you mean to say we will say hiya qatla or hum qatla?
Yes.
It will be
We'll
hum.
say hum qatla.
Hum, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Right.
perfect. You got it. Yes, hum qatla. And similarly, we will say hum jarha and hum asra and hum hamqa.
Okay.
All right. So
Jazakallah.
inshallah, so inshallah, I'm sure you got it. So I think it's not too heavy today. So and tomorrow's the good news is we are going to have tomorrow is off. So shall we go through the text?
Yes, sir.
Where is Irfan? Of course.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am happy.
Yeah, you heard the news, right?
Yes, sir. Very good news, sir.
Very good news. And why do you say
What
that?
news is that?
Tomorrow will be off, inshallah. I have some
Okay, that is the news. I
commitment,
thought something
inshallah.
kingdom.
That's the news, yeah, isn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna share now the book here. Okay, so inshallah the lesson is very easy as compared to the previous lesson. And let's not compare and let's not say that because inshallah all of it is easier. الدرس الخامس والعشرون, lesson number 25. So we have Al-Mudarris and Umar, two persons there. Okay, so Al-Mudarris, أين أنور يا
Umar.
Yeah, Umaru,
Umaru.
right? Umaru, okay. So how do you differentiate that it's not Amrun and this is Umaru? How do you differentiate?
There is no
Wow.
wow, sir.
Should be wow, wow.
Excellent.
After that,
Okay, so it's Umaru. Okay, it's Dhamma. Wow.
Noon min as-sarf.
The Dhamma has become a little bit. Okay, so Aina Anwaru. Okay, Anwaru. Why not Anwarun?
Afalu.
This is
Afalu.
mamnu min as-sarf.
Yes,
Also
Mamnu
the
min
scale.
as-sarf. Mamnu min as-sarf, it's on the pattern of Afalu. Okay, Aina Anwaru ya Umaru. Where is Anwar or Umar? Umar says, La adri, I don't know. La adri. Okay, this adri is basically dara yadri. Dara ya yadriyu, dara yadri. Inshallah, we are going to do it in the next lesson. So the time has come when we have to deal with the weak letters. La adri, I don't know. Ra'aytuhu qabla qalilin. I saw him a while ago. Okay, qabla. What's the usage of qabla here?
Surf.
Mudaf, mudaf ilayh.
Yeah, it's
Because
used as
Mudaf
it's
yeah.
followed by mudaf.
Excellent. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw him a while ago. Okay. Kana waqifan, he was standing. So kana
Kana
waqifan, kana huwa kana
Kana.
waqifan, yeah. He was standing. Kharij al-fasli, out of the classroom. He was standing out of the classroom. Okay, now kharij al-fasli, kharij and waqif. What are the patterns?
Ism file.
Fine.
Okay, ismul file. Okay. Waqifun wa kharijun. What grammatical impact ismul file has in the language? I told you one time, if you remember, that would be an amazing thing for me to know. Ismul file, how is it used in the construction, or how does it function? I remember I told you.
Sorry, here it is Ismul file, Mudaf,
Ismul file, if you remember, ismul file functions as mudaf.
like
It
mudaf.
functions as mudaf, okay? How do we know that? Look at here. Kana waqifan kharij al-fasli.
Firstly. Sir, when there is al and majroor, most of the time this is mudaf ilayh.
Mudaf, excellent. So the first noun, when we see that it doesn't have tanween, doesn't have al, and the second noun has al and has kasra, that means it is mudaf ilayh. So kana waqifan kharij al-fasli, he was standing out of the classroom. So here, kana has two, it has maf'ulain, right? Waqifan wa kharij al-fasli. So it's possible for kana to have maf'ulain. You never asked me why the second one is, the first one is mansub, why the second one is mansub? So this is maf'ul bihi al-awwal, or this is athani, or this is, we shouldn't say maf'ul bihi, we should say that this is khabaru kana, yeah? So kana has khabrain, it has two news, okay. So please remember this, and you look at the examples. So there are so many examples in the Quran, and you will see that ismul fa'il, whether it is from the 3 root letters or whether it is from the derived forms of the verb, ismul fa'il will always function as mudaf, and the noun that follows it will be mudaf ilayh. Do you remember those examples that we analyzed? مخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي. Do you remember those examples? If not, go back and inshallah refer to those examples and you will remember that. Al-Mudarris.
Sir, I need to ask a question.
Mhm.
Waqifan is how is Waqifan acting as a mudaf?
لا, I didn't say. It is khabr. It's khabru kana, right?
Khabar kana.
This is khabar
It
number 1.
is. Yes,
But
it
is
is khabar
file
number
of
1.
ism file?
And it is
Just
ismul file,
second, just
ismul file as well. That I mean, it's okay
Yes.
for ismul file because it doesn't have any mudaf ilayh.
But not all ism files can act as mudaf, but some can act, you said.
La, all of them they can do, but the thing is we have to have mudaf ilayh. Here, yani the idea is clear. The job of waqifan has been done. When the job has not been done, when it requires mudaf ilayh, only in that, look, let's not confuse it with jar majroor, because jar always needs majroor. Harf jar always needs majroor, right? But this one,
Right.
if it has mudaf ilayh, then it will function as mudaf. I used the word function. It will function as mudaf, and then the noun that follows it will be mudaf ilayh. I hope it's clear now.
And both, sir, both are on the wazn of fa'ilun, sir. So they will act as an
Yes. The first one has
waqifan and kharijun.
waqafa and kharaja. Yes.
Yes.
Waqifun and kharijun. All right. المدرس كيف حال عمار الآن يا سعد? How is Ammar now, O Saad? Okay, so حال is mudaf and Ammar is mudaf ilayh. Okay, as we say كيف حالك? How are you? الآن now يا سعد, O Saad. How is Ammar, O Saad? Okay, hal is a noun. Some information like that there are some nouns in Arabic that are used both as they are both masculine and feminine, and hal is one of them. Hal is both masculine and feminine. Suq, market, the word suq is also both masculine and feminine. This is just a piece of information, yani it wouldn't make any big difference to us, but if you know, it's always better to know that there are some words in Arabic which can be both masculine and feminine. كان مريضا منذ أسبوع. He was sick since a week or since 1 week. So this one is clear?
Yes, Ustad. Kana huwa maridan.
Yeah, كان مريضا منذ, and we
And
have
here,
heard that
munzu is acting as
it's
zarf.
basically harf jar. So منذ أسبوع, and it's also used as
Special-
ظرف.
special
ظرف.
mudaf.
Yeah, and it is also harf jar. No, it's basically harf jar. منذ and mudh, there are 17
Yeah.
there are 17 huruf al-jara, and this is one of them.
Okay, Ustad.
Because if you say it's dharf, then it should be mansub, but it's not mansub, so it's used as preposition. Saad, لا يزال مريضا يا فضيلة الشيخ شفاه الله. Okay, لا يزال مريضا, he is still sick. Oh Sheikh, شفاه الله, may Allah heal him. So now this is clear that لا يزال has it's on
Huwa
لا يزال, and then we have khabar, which is maridan. He is still sick, and after ya we know that after ya when we have mudaf ilayh, then it comes with fatha. Ya fadilat al-shaykhi shafahu Allah. Shafa, verb, lafz al-jalala, fa'il, and who maf'ul bihi.
Who is maf'ul bihi.
It's an attached pronoun, so that's why it requires to come with the verb and not with the noun. We cannot attach it with the noun, so that's why it has come with the verb. Ameen. What do you remember about Ameen?
It is in the form of a dua as
Ismul fa'il, right?
for Allah.
Ismul amr, right? May it be so.
Amr.
Yeah, ismul amr, not fail al amr, ismul amr. Allahumma istajib, that means, oh Allah, please, may it be so, as we said, may it be so. Okay. سمعت أنه يريد أن يترك الجامعة ويرجع إلى بلده. I've heard that he wants to leave the university and wants to come back to his city. Okay, now you see here we have the use of an. So it will be yatruka, right? Because of an, yatruka al-jamiata wa yarji'a ila baladihi. So I've heard that he wants to leave the university and wants to come back to
And return to his
city.
town.
Yeah, so yatruka and yarji'a, they are mansub. Why is that? Because of
the effect of an.
So we have learned that an and then lan, and then we have learned that li. What they do, they change mudari into
Harf
mansub.
of nasab.
Yes. أصحيح هذا, is this true? Sad, لا هذا غير صحيح. This is not true. غير is also used as mudaf. هذا غير صحيح. This is not true. غير is used as mudaf, and the rest we will talk about it because it has also many different uses in the Arabic language.
Usage in the book 3, like
Yeah. Yes. المدرس ماذا يعمل أبوك يا إبراهيم? What does your father do, O Ibrahim? سمعت أنه وزير. I've heard that he is a minister. Sorry, he is a minister. Okay. Why we have أنه? Why not إنه?
because it comes in the middle of the sentence.
Yeah, after verb or in the middle of the sentence, we
Samir?
use anna and not inna. Sumaitu, I've heard annahu wazirun, that he is a minister. Ibrahimu kana waziran qabla sanatayn. He was a minister 2 years ago. Qabla sanatayn, so qabla is dharf and mudaf, and sanatayn is mudaf ilayh. And wahuwa al-ana safirun, and now he is an ambassador. So before he was a minister, and now he is an ambassador. This sentence is clear?
Yes, Ustad.
فَمَاذَا يَعْمَلُ أَبُوكَ يَا عَمْرُ? And now you see here we have wow. That means this is Amr and not Amr. Okay. And what does your father do, O Amr? قَالَ لِي أَحَدُ زُمَلَائِكَ إِنَّهُ مُدَرِّسٌ. One of your colleagues told me that indeed he is a teacher. Okay, please remember about ahadu and ihda. They are also used as mudaf. You might be thinking like, how many of them are there? So there are not so many of them, very few of them. So we have learned that qabla and bada are used as mudaf, and ghayr is used as mudaf, and ahadu and ihda, please note it down, that they are also used as mudaf. Ahadu zumalaika, you see here? I, because of being mudaf ilayh. So one of your colleagues told me that he is a teacher. Amrun kana mudarrisan. He was a teacher min qablu, before. So min qablu, here it is mabni ala
Qabli
dhamma.
zalika. Zalika is
It is mabni ala dhamma, right? So that's why min doesn't have any grammatical impact on it, and it will not be min qabli. If you want to make it min qabli, then you have to
min
bring in
qabli
mudaf
zalika.
ilayh. And then you have to bring in mudaf ilayh. وَهُوَ الْآنَ مُفَتِّشٌ. Figure out the root and everything about mufattish. Which verb form is this? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Fattasha.
It has
Number 2, Ustad.
Excellent. Sabbaha.
Number 2.
Yeah, okay. Fattasha yufattishu taftishan. To inspect.
Ism file.
Investigator.
Yeah,
Ism file.
investigator. Now you got it. وهو الآن مفتش. So he is an investigator في المدارس الثانوية, in the secondary schools.
Second.
So we will say inspector, like not investigator, something like that. Inspector, let's say, or like something like principal.
You mean invigilator, Ustad?
Invigilator is muraqib. That is from
Okay.
raqaba yuraqibu, but
Like
it's like
an inspector.
inspector. Yes, that's right. المدرس وماذا يعمل أبوك يا يعقوب? And what does your father do, O Yaqub? كان شرطيا. He was a policeman. كان شرطيا. He was a policeman. وهو الآن متقاعد. And now he is retired. Okay, متقاعد is the 6th form of the verb. We haven't taken it. تدارس. That's right. Yeah, it's on that pattern. Okay. Ya Aba Bakrin. Why Aba? Quickly tell me, please. Why Aba?
Because of
it is
Al-Kanada.
mansub. Because it's
mansub, because it is mudaf mudaf ilayh, and when we use mudaf mudaf ilayh after ya, it will be always mansub. Ya Aba Bakrin. Qulta li, you said to me, or you told me, qabla 3 sanawatin, 3 years ago, inna abaka, that your father, amidu kulliyatil handasati, is the
He's
dean
the dean of the engineering college.
faculty of engineering. أمتقاعد هو الآن? Is he
Is he
retired
retired?
right now?
No.
So here قبل is used as special مضاف. 3 سنوات is used as مضاف إليه. And the numbers here. Why it is not ثلاثة?
Because sanat
Sanatun
is
is
feminine.
feminine. Excellent.
Sanat.
So you wouldn't forget it, inshallah. Inna abaka. Okay, why inna abaka? Why not inna
For
abuka?
sure. Because the effect of inna, so it is become inna.
Yes, after
It is
inna,
mansoob.
the noun will be mansoob. Excellent. MashaAllah, you have done an amazing job. Amidu, kuliyatul handasati. Tayyib, what construction is this?
This is mudaf
Mudaf, mudaf ilayh, and then again mudaf, mudaf ilayh.
Perfect.
So a kulliya is mudaf and mudaf ilayh.
Yeah, amidu, when we see, as you see, when we have dhamma here, and after this is not, doesn't have al, and the noun after that has kasra and it has al, then it is confirmed that this is mudaf mudaf ilayh. Amataqaidun huwa al-ana, is he retired now? Abu Bakr, la, no, la yazalu amidan. He is still
He's still the dean.
a dean. Okay.
A dean.
Or it's time for prayer now, so I'm afraid we have to stop now. So inshallah tomorrow is going to be off because I have some commitments. So inshallah I'll see you after tomorrow.
Jazakallah khairan.
وإياكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاك الله خير.
وإياكم.